Welcome back to my channel, All Old Rare Coins. If you love discovering hidden treasures, you're in the right place. Today, we're revealing some coins that could be worth way more than you think. Stick around to find out. New here? Like, subscribe, and let's dive in. We're going to take a closer look at a fascinating piece of American currency that might just be hiding in your collection. It's the 2021 US Liberty $2 coin, a coin that could have more value than you might think. Stick around until the end, and you'll be amazed to discover just how much this coin could be worth today. Let's first talk about the Liberty $2 coin and its significance. The quarter has always been an iconic piece of US currency, dating back to 1796. Over the years, various designs have come and gone, each representing a different chapter in American history. The 2021 Liberty Quarter is no different. It marks an important moment, commemorating the spirit of liberty and the ideals that America holds dear. What makes this specific coin so interesting is not only its modern design but also the uniqueness of the 2021 release. For years, collectors have been anticipating the return of certain iconic symbols on American coins, and the Liberty design has certainly not disappointed. Released as part of a new series, this coin reflects a modern take on the classic Liberty design, combining elements of the past with a fresh, contemporary look. The coin features an image of Lady Liberty, representing freedom and independence, adorned with a flowing robe and a crown of stars. This is not just a symbol of the nation's past but also a nod to its continued pursuit of liberty and justice. On the reverse side, you'll find the familiar eagle, another powerful American symbol of strength and freedom. Now, let's dive into the key factors that can make the 2021 US Liberty $2 coin stand out in a collector's market. One of the most important aspects is the coin's rarity. While many of these coins were minted and are still circulating, there's a subset of these coins that are incredibly rare due to slight variations in their production process. Minting errors and small design variations are always of interest to collectors. These coins, which may have been struck with a misaligned die or experienced other slight production errors, are highly sought after. These kinds of coins stand out from the rest because they are one of a kind, making them more valuable than a regular coin in perfect condition. Of course, the condition of the coin is also critical. Like any collectible item, the value of the coin increases significantly if it's in excellent, uncirculated condition. A coin that has been carefully stored, with minimal wear and tear, is worth far more than one that has been used in daily transactions. For collectors, condition is everything. A pristine coin is an object of desire, and its value skyrockets because of its rarity. So, what's the actual value of the 2021 US Liberty $2 coin? If you have one that's been kept in near-perfect condition or, better yet, one with a minting error, you could be looking at a staggering value. The value of these coins can vary depending on the specific characteristics of each piece. However, if you're lucky enough to own one in exceptional condition or have stumbled upon one with a rare error, you might be sitting on a coin worth up to $45,000. That's right, $45,000 for a single 2021 Liberty $2 coin. Isn't that incredible? It's amazing how something as small as a quarter could hold such tremendous value, especially when it's in pristine condition or carries a unique feature that collectors covet. So, if you have any old coins lying around or if you've recently found a 2021 Liberty quarter in your change, now's the time to take a closer look. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and you might just have a rare treasure hidden in plain sight. Second rare coin, we're about to dive into the world of a coin that could be hiding right under your nose, perhaps in your change jar or an old collection. We're talking about the 1974 US Liberty $2 coin, a piece of history that might be worth far more than you think. Whether you've seen it 1,000 times or you're just discovering it now, this coin might just be your ticket to a valuable treasure. Stick with us, and by the end of this video, you'll know just how much this coin could be worth and why it's getting so much attention in the world of coin collecting. First off, let's take a quick look at the 1974 Liberty quarter's background. This coin was struck during an interesting time in American history. The 1970s were a time of change, both in the country and in the world of currency. The United States was coming off the heels of the Vietnam War, the country was in the middle of the Cold War, and inflation was starting to impact the economy. Amid all this, the U.S. Mint was still producing coins that would go on to become crucial pieces in American numismatic history. The 1974 D quarter, minted in Denver, stands as a remarkable symbol of that period. Now, let's talk about what makes this coin so unique. The 1974 D Liberty quarter features a stunning design, with the familiar profile of George Washington on the obverse. Washington's image, as the first president of the United States, has been featured on the quarter since 1932. On the reverse, you'll find a beautiful rendition of the American eagle perched on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength, courage, and freedom. This design was meant to encapsulate the core values of America, making the coin not only a piece of currency but also a symbol of national pride. But what really sets the 1974 D Liberty quarter apart from others is the fact that, over time, it has become increasingly rare in high-grade condition. While millions of these coins were produced, the truth is that very few have managed to survive in mint condition. Over the years, many of these quarters were used in circulation and have endured significant wear and tear, making them less desirable to collectors. The most valuable 1974 D quarters are those that have been well preserved, with little to no signs of use. Coins that are in near-perfect condition are highly sought after because they are so rare. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. But it's not just about condition, there's something else that makes the 1974 D quarter even more interesting to collectors: error coins. As with many other coins, the 1974 D quarter saw its fair share of minting errors. These could be anything from double strikes to misaligned dies, or even incorrect planchets. These errors make the coin even rarer and more valuable, as they are one-of-a-kind pieces. A 1974 D quarter with an error could be worth much more than one that's simply in great condition. In fact, collectors are always on the lookout for these mistakes, as they provide a unique and fascinating story behind each coin. In addition to errors, some collectors may also be interested in the overall rarity of the coin, especially when it comes to how few of them remain in circulation. While a typical 1974 D quarter might be worth its face value of 25 cents, a well-preserved, error-free one could fetch a substantial amount of money. But the real jackpot comes when you find one of those error coins that has been carefully maintained. Now, let's get to the big question. Just how much could the 1974 D US Liberty $quarter coin be worth? If you're lucky enough to have one that is in impeccable condition, or, even better, one with a rare minting error, you could be holding a coin worth an astounding $85,000. That's right, $85,000. It's hard to believe that a coin from 1974, a piece of currency most of us have seen countless times, could hold that kind of value. But that's the beauty of the world of numismatics. Coins can carry a lot more history and value than meets the eye. So, if you happen to have a 1974 D Liberty quarter lying around, it might be worth taking a second look. It could be worth much more than you ever imagined. Third expensive coin, we're shining the spotlight on a coin that might just be lurking in your collection or tucked away in a drawer somewhere. We're talking about the 1986 P US Liberty $quarter coin. This coin might look like just another quarter at first glance, but trust me when I say it could be worth far more than you think. Stick around until the end, and I'll reveal just how much this coin could actually be worth today. You won't want to miss it. Let's begin by taking a step back in time and looking at the history surrounding the 1986 P Liberty quarter. This quarter is part of a long-standing tradition of American currency, with the quarter itself dating back to 1796. By 1986, the U.S. Mint was operating in an era of significant political and economic changes. The mid-1980s were a time of economic growth in the United States, following the aftermath of the late 1970s recession. The 1986 coinage was part of the continuing effort to update and refresh American coin designs, with the Liberty quarter standing as a reflection of the nation's strength, independence, and resolve. The 1986 P Liberty quarter, minted in Philadelphia, features the familiar image of George Washington on the obverse, as has been the tradition since 1932. The profile of the first President of the United States has become iconic, symbolizing the ideals of freedom, leadership, and democracy. On the reverse, we find the stunning eagle design, a symbol of America's strength and courage. The eagle's wings spread wide, and the design captures the spirit of liberty that this coin represents. It's a simple but powerful reminder of what the quarter stands for in the larger context of American history. Now, let's dive into the real reason why collectors are so eager to get their hands on the 1986 Liberty Quarter. The value of a coin, as many collectors know, depends heavily on its rarity, condition, and any unique characteristics it might possess. While the 1986 Liberty Quarter was produced in relatively large numbers, it wasn't immune to wear and tear over time. Most of these coins spent years in circulation, and by now, the majority have suffered from the usual scratches, dings, and tarnish. However, if you happen to have one in excellent, uncirculated condition, you're holding something special. A coin in mint condition can be worth far more than its face value, and for the 1986 quarter, that's where the true value lies. Coins that have been kept in pristine condition, free from damage or wear, are highly sought after by collectors. These coins often carry a premium, and as they become harder to find in such excellent condition, their value continues to rise. But there's more to this story than just condition. The 1986 Liberty Quarter has also gained attention due to a few unique characteristics that make it stand out. One of the most exciting things about the world of coin collecting is the potential for error coins. Minting errors happen more often than you might think, and these misprints can make a coin much more valuable than a regular one. For the 1986 Quarter, some coins were struck with slight mistakes, such as double strikes, off-center strikes, or die cracks. These errors make the coin even more desirable to collectors who are looking for something unique to add to their collections. If you're lucky enough to come across one of these error coins, you could be sitting on a hidden treasure. Error coins are often worth many times more than their regular counterparts, so it's definitely worth inspecting your 1986 Liberty Quarter closely. Even the smallest variation can increase the coin's value significantly. Now, let's talk about the value. If you've managed to find a 1986 Liberty Quarter that is in pristine, uncirculated condition, or even better, one with a minting error, you could be holding something worth far more than you initially thought. In fact, these rare and well-preserved coins can fetch up to $60,000, yes, you heard that correctly, $60,000 for a single 1986 Liberty Quarter dollar coin. It's incredible to think that a coin which many people consider just a piece of everyday currency could be worth such a large sum. This just goes to show how important it is to pay attention to the condition and uniqueness of the coins in your collection. You never know what hidden gems might be waiting to be discovered, so, if you have any old coins lying around, especially a 1986 Liberty Quarter, it's time to take a closer look. It might be worth more than just a quarter, and with the right condition or error, you could have a rare treasure in your hands. Now, we have something very special to talk about, a coin that might be hiding in your collection, or perhaps you've overlooked it before. We're talking about the 1984 US Liberty Quarter dollar coin. At first glance, it might seem like just another quarter, but trust me, this coin has some hidden value that could really surprise you. Stick with us until the end, and you'll find out just how much this coin could be worth today. You won't believe your eyes. Let's start by stepping back in time to 1984. The United States was in a time of economic recovery and growth. The country was experiencing stability after the turmoil of the 1970s and the early 1980s. The U.S. Mint, in its efforts to create high-quality currency, continued to produce the beloved Liberty Quarter. The 1984 Liberty Quarter was minted in Philadelphia, and it features the iconic portrait of George Washington on the obverse, which has been a staple on the quarter since 1932. Washington's face, representing the ideals of freedom, democracy, and leadership, is instantly recognizable and has made this coin one of the most enduring symbols of the United States. On the reverse, the eagle stands proudly, clutching a bundle of arrows and an olive branch, further symbolizing the country's strength and its commitment to peace. This combination of powerful imagery encapsulates the spirit of America: strength, unity, and freedom. These timeless symbols are what make the 1984 Liberty Quarter not just a piece of currency, but a representation of the values that America holds dear. While this may sound like just another commemorative coin, there's much more to the 1984 Liberty Quarter than meets the eye. The value of a coin is determined by several factors, including its condition, rarity, and any unique features it may have. For the 1984 Liberty Quarter, the story starts with its circulation. Like many quarters from the time, it was widely used in everyday transactions. Over the years, most of these coins have been worn down by time and circulation, losing their luster and becoming less desirable to collectors. However, what makes this particular coin special is the handful that have survived in near-perfect condition. If you're lucky enough to find a 1984 Liberty Quarter in uncirculated condition, you're holding something truly valuable. Coins that have been kept in excellent condition, free from scratches, tarnishing, or any form of wear, are highly sought after. This is because, as the years go on, fewer and fewer of these coins are preserved in their original state. Collectors pay a premium for well-preserved coins, as they are rarer and harder to come by, which leads to a significant increase in their market value. But there's something else that can make the 1984 Liberty Quarter even more valuable: minting errors. Minting errors are what makes certain coins stand out, and they can drastically increase a coin's value. These errors can range from double strikes, misaligned dies, to off-center punches. A single minting error can make a coin much rarer and more desirable to collectors, often making it worth far more than a regular coin in perfect condition. The 1984 Liberty Quarter is no exception when it comes to potential errors. Some of these coins were struck with slight variations, creating unique pieces that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. A misaligned strike or even a subtle die crack could make your coin a rare and valuable find. If you happen to find a 1984 quarter with any sort of error, you could be holding a true gem in the coin world. Now, the big question is, how much is this coin worth? While the majority of 1984 Liberty Quarters are worth their face value of 25 cents, the real value comes when you find one that is in pristine, uncirculated condition or has one of those rare minting errors. If you've managed to find a 1984 Liberty Quarter that fits the bill, you could be sitting on something worth a staggering $71,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $71,000. For a coin that many people would pass over without a second thought, that's an incredible amount of money. And it's a reminder of how valuable rare coins can be, especially when they are in mint condition or have a unique feature that sets them apart. So, if you've been collecting coins or you have a stash of change sitting around, it's time to take a closer look. You might just have a hidden treasure in your possession. A 1984 Liberty Quarter in excellent condition or with a minting error could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Next coin, we have an exciting episode lined up for you, as we explore a coin that might just be hiding in your collection or tucked away in a drawer. We're talking about the 1979 U.S. Liberty Quarter dollar coin. While it may seem like just another coin, this particular quarter has a fascinating story and a value that will likely surprise you. Stick around until the end, and I'll reveal exactly how much this coin could be worth today. You won't want to miss this. Let's first take a step back in time and explore the 1979 quarter's place in history. The United States was in a period of transformation in the late 1970s. The country was recovering from economic challenges, including inflation and the energy crisis, while also navigating the final years of the 1970s recession. Meanwhile, the U.S. Mint continued its efforts to produce high-quality currency that would circulate across the country. The 1979 quarter, with its familiar design, was part of this important era in American history. The coin features the iconic portrait of George Washington on the obverse, a design that has been in place since 1932. Washington, as the first president of the United States, represents the core ideals of freedom, democracy, and leadership that have made the U.S. what it is today. On the reverse side, we find the majestic eagle, which symbolizes strength, courage, and the nation's resolve. This design, featuring the eagle perched on a bundle of arrows, captures the essence of America's power and commitment to peace. While the design itself is impressive, the true value of the 1979 quarter lies in its rarity and condition. In 1979, millions of these quarters were minted, and they circulated widely, making the coin relatively common. However, over time, most of these quarters have seen heavy use, with many displaying scratches, wear, and tarnish from years of circulation. The key to finding a truly valuable 1979 quarter is to locate one in pristine, uncirculated condition. These well-preserved coins are highly coveted by collectors because they are a rarity in today's world. Most coins from this time have been through countless transactions and are far from perfect, which is what makes those in excellent condition so special, but there's more to it than just condition. What really catches the eye of collectors are minting errors. As with many other coins, the 1979 quarter saw its fair share of mistakes during the production process. Minting errors, such as double strikes, off-center strikes, and die cracks, can make a coin extremely valuable. Error coins are always in high demand because they're unique, often one-of-a-kind pieces that can't be found anywhere else. If you're lucky enough to own a 1979 quarter with any of these types of errors, you could be holding a coin worth significantly more than a regular, uncirculated version. Some of the most valuable 1979 quarters have these types of errors, and they can make the coin extremely rare. Collectors are always searching for error coins because they stand out from the rest and tell a story of how the coin was minted. These little imperfections are part of what makes the world of coin collecting so fascinating. They add an extra layer of mystery and intrigue to an already impressive piece of history. So, let's talk about how much this 1979 quarter is really worth. A typical 1979 quarter in circulated condition is worth face value, but if you happen to have one in near perfect or uncirculated condition, or even one with a rare minting error, you're looking at a significantly higher value. Depending on the condition and any unique features the coin might have, the value can vary. But there's one thing for sure: if you have the right 1979 quarter, it could be worth an astonishing $89,000. Yes, you heard that right, $89,000. That's an incredible amount of money for a coin that many people overlook every day. It's amazing how something as simple as a quarter, with the right condition or minting error, can hold such extraordinary value. So, the next time you come across a 1979 Liberty quarter, make sure to take a closer look. You could be holding a coin that's worth far more than you ever imagined. Last unique coin, we have an exciting episode for you as we explore one of the most interesting and potentially valuable coins in U.S. history, the 1965 U.S. Liberty $quarter coin. If you think it's just another coin from the mid-60s, think again. This quarter holds a secret that could make it worth far more than its face value. Stay with us until the end, and you'll find out just how much this coin could actually be worth today. First, let's rewind to 1965. The United States was in the midst of a transformative decade, both politically and culturally. It was a time of significant change, from the civil rights movement to the growing counterculture and the space race. In terms of economics, the country was experiencing a period of prosperity, but there was also a looming problem: silver. The U.S. Mint faced increasing difficulties with silver shortages, which would lead to one of the most important changes in American coinage. That year marked a pivotal moment because the Mint stopped using silver in the production of quarters, dimes, and half dollars. For the first time in U.S. history, the 1965 Liberty quarter was struck from a copper-nickel-clad composition rather than the traditional 90% silver. This shift was an important moment in coin history, and the 1965 quarter symbolizes that dramatic change. What's fascinating is that, while millions of these quarters were produced, some rare variations exist that can turn this otherwise ordinary coin into a highly prized treasure for collectors. The design of the 1965 Liberty quarter is, of course, one that's instantly recognizable. The obverse side features the iconic portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States, who has graced the quarter since 1932. Washington's image represents the very ideals of freedom, leadership, and democracy that this coin stands for. On the reverse side, we see the familiar eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing the nation's strength and commitment to peace. This design is powerful and enduring, and it's part of what makes the Liberty Quarter such a beloved piece of U.S. currency. So, what makes the 1965 Liberty Quarter so special in the world of coin collecting? Well, while the majority of these coins were minted in large quantities and spent years in circulation, there are a few key factors that can make one of these coins incredibly valuable. First, let's talk about rarity. As mentioned earlier, the 1965 quarter was minted in massive quantities due to the transition away from silver, meaning most of them were used for daily transactions and have long since been worn down by time. The majority of these coins show signs of wear, including scratches, fading, and tarnishing. However, what really drives the value of the 1965 quarter is the scarcity of coins in uncirculated or near-perfect condition. A coin that has been carefully preserved, free from the usual wear and tear, is considered a rare find, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for such specimens, but the real jackpot comes when you discover that your 1965 Liberty Quarter has an error. Minting errors are a goldmine for coin collectors, and they can turn an ordinary-looking coin into a highly valuable collectible. For example, the 1965 quarter was produced during a time of significant transition at the U.S. Mint, and a number of these coins were struck with defects, such as double strikes, die cracks, or off-center punches. These errors can make a coin much more rare and desirable, significantly boosting its value. Collectors are always on the lookout for error coins because they offer something unique and special, often making them one-of-a-kind pieces. If you're lucky enough to have a 1965 quarter with one of these errors, you could have a coin that is worth far more than its face value. So, now we arrive at the exciting part, the value of the 1965 Liberty Quarter. While the majority of these coins are worth their face value of 25 cents, those in excellent condition or with minting errors are worth far more. If you happen to have an uncirculated 1965 quarter or, better yet, one with a minting error, you could be sitting on a hidden treasure worth a jaw-dropping $100,000. Yes, you heard that right, $100,000. For a coin that many people would simply overlook, that's an incredible amount of money. It's truly amazing how something as simple as a quarter can hold such extraordinary value. So, before you toss that old jar of coins or overlook that dusty quarter, take a closer look. It might just be worth a small fortune. If you found this video fascinating and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our future discoveries. We've got plenty more amazing coin stories to share with you. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting!